Okay, hello, welcome to another playthrough for YouTube of one of my favorite games, Odyssey, The Legend of Nemesis. This was a Mac-only game, released sometime in the 90s, and I'm your host, Zebrina, so let's get started. Typically what you would do with this game, if you were starting it up, is to select new game, and then you press this button for about an hour. And eventually you would get some statistics that you like. You press OK, and you'd see a screen like this telling you the story of the game. It's not very interesting to start with. You're trying to get some sort of staff magical thing, and you'd see a screen like this, but with a message. Welcome to Odyssey, all dogs eat grass. Not actually true. However, I happen to have a character pre-rolled with the windows set up as I like it, so we're going to start from there. Alright, so here we are. We find ourselves washed up on the island, as you can see, wearing only tattered rags and having nothing but our bare hands, not even any treasures, 0 gold pieces. But here we have our first object of the game, so let's pick it up. Alright, now we have our first object in our inventory, a wet note. So let's click on that. Greetings. Be sure to stop by in the northeast corner of the island if you can make it there intact. I prefer to be somewhat acquainted with my guests. N. Alright, so there we have our first note from Nemesis written to the island. Of course, for the human character of the game, it's obvious the note is disguised to read as if it were addressed to the human character. But of course the main character in this game is the island, and you're playing the island, and you can go down or up, and the character will not move at all, stays in the center of the screen. So clearly, island is the main character. Alright, so what's this? We have a cave here, and looks like there's someone in here we can talk to, so why don't we do that? My poor child, how did you survive out there without anything to defend yourself with? Help. Alright, and he tells us a secret passage where we can get some objects that we need in order to survive on the island. Alright, so let's go down here and check it out. Alright, now we have something that will make it a little easier to survive out there. We haven't seen our first monster yet, but if we had run into them without any kind of equipment, then we would have been dead very quickly. Alright, let's think. Alright. Very rude person. Alright, so let's explore the island. Made short work of that one. And look, here's some people who have died. We can't desecrate the graves or anything, but we will find some interesting clues about them later on. So, as the old man told us, although I might not have given you enough time to read it, on this island there are 2 towns, Elba and Nyack. Very clever. Cain and Abel. And they're fighting against each other because Nyack stole all of the other town's paper. And they're drawing pictures all over the paper and wasting it. So we have to find a secret tunnel system and get the paper back. And here we are at the first... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Here we are at the first town. Elba. Well, let's see what we can find. One of the most fun things about this game is the life to be found in the towns here. Every one of the characters has their own little routine that they repeat every day. They go to sleep in the same house. They go to work in the same place. And you can follow them around and see pretty much everything they do, which is really fun. As you can see, it's a bustling landscape. Right here we have what is apparently the source of food for the town. spamalopes. You'll find these in many towns. They're very docile creatures. And also what you can do in this game is wander around and pick up pretty much anything you want, and people usually don't mind if you steal from right under their noses. If you take a look in some of the right places in this town, you can find some objects that would be very useful to us. Right now, I haven't found it yet. Aha! Gloves and boots, very important. I think that takes care of most of the useful objects that are hidden here, unless there are some behind some locked doors, because not every door is open here. And if we wait long enough, we might see somebody going in there. You see there's people sleeping there? Yeah, I'm not going to do anything to them. When I used to play this game as a wee one, I developed a mild form of obsessive-compulsive disorder. I really would be bothered by leaving the doors open anywhere in the game, so I would always shut them behind me, but it didn't really do me any good. Oh look, what have we got here? We've got some useful plants, we've got a book of medical techniques, very good. I don't know why that door is unlocked, usually that should be locked, but something funny is going on here. And who's behind this door? Greetings. Elba Nyack. Most view Nyacians as somehow inherently different. I don't see the logic in that. Can you? Here's a free thinker. No, I cannot. Let's trade. Yes, as you can see, we've already picked up the book at Miracle Cures. I don't know why that door was unlocked, but it worked out for us. However, there's also a spell hidden in that room, so we still might want to go and talk to that person. And here we have it, a magical pair of red pajamas. The principal ideological difference between the two towns is that one of them is always getting up while the other one is always ready to go to sleep, so we can't go into the other town without a pair of red pajamas or else they'll kill us. And I'm saying us because I'm assuming that as a viewer of this video, you're identifying with this to some degree, or you're seeing yourself as the character in the game and occupying the same subjective position as I am. So, but if that's not the case, feel free to correct me and I'll stop doing that. Alright, so we've explored that town, found pretty much all the important objects that are to be found there. Let's go out into the world. And that object we just picked up in that back room, that scroll, was a spell, but we can't cast spells yet until we learn the secret of magic. But we'll be able to do that very shortly. So we've passed south of the mountains there, and we're getting close to the other town. And just for fun, I'm going to show you what would happen if we were to approach this town without the magical pajamas.